that's why he's the smartest player that you can find right now. It's a win-win situation for him, and he's so clever, and he knows exactly what to do. He's happy in Paris, which I really believe is the case. All the family is there. He's earning a fortune, as we say. He's got a lot of powers at the club, so he's happy to stay. Of course he is. And then he's a free agent in the summer 2024. He can literally pick the club amongst the best clubs in the world, in Europe, right there at his feet. He will pick where he feels that the option is the best. He also knows that by putting that letter out and letting everybody know about it, he also knows that if that makes PSG angry, which is the case, they will say, hang on a minute, we're not letting you for free in a year's time, so we're going to sell you now. And even there he wins, because the one club really where he would want to go is the club that needs a number 9, that needs a striker like him, and that's Real Madrid. And for me, the departure of Karim Benzema from Real Madrid to go to Saudi Arabia has just changed everything, changed the whole dynamic. I really believe that if Benzema was still a Real Madrid player right now, none of this would have happened. When Benzema left, I think in Kylian's head and the people around him, it just triggered something. Hang on, this is a great opportunity, because look, we can do this, and then it's again a win-win situation. You stay, you're happy, and then you're free agent and you can sign anywhere, including Real Madrid, with a huge signing on fee. PSG are not happy, they want to sell you. Real Madrid are going to come for you. Kylian knows it. Kylian wants to go at some point in his career. We all know he will end up at Real Madrid. So it's just, I have to say, for me, it's an Mbappe masterclass.
Meanwhile, the Spanish press, Cadena Cope specifically, Alex, is saying that there's no Mbappe or Kane this summer. What more can you tell us from that side of things?
Yeah, I have to say I find that report extremely hard to believe. Now, that may be the messaging that the club want to put out to kind of take some of the pressure off of them. But I really cannot envisage a scenario in which Real Madrid go into next season with the only forward options available in their squad, Vinicius and Rodrigo, who are the only 2 proper forwards in the first team squad right now, and maybe bringing in Joselu on loan from Espanyol as a centre forward. Can you imagine Madrid going into a season with those 3 as their attacking options? Okay, you've got Brahim Diaz in there as well, but more of, I guess, a playmaker and attacking midfielder than a proper forward. I can't see it happening. I think that's one of these reports that has been put out there for a reason, like I say, and as part of the club's messaging, which is at the moment what Real Madrid are saying really is, as much as possible, we don't want to get into this messy situation once again with Kylian Mbappe after what happened last year, after what happened 2 years ago. Yeah, Madrid's position really is, okay, look, if the player is available, if the player wants to come, and if his club are willing to sell and to do a deal, okay, let's talk. Then we will come to the table and negotiate. But Madrid don't want to get into another back and forth and making a series of bids like they did 2 years ago, which PSG ended up rejecting all of them. I mean, there's a feeling I think this isn't over this summer, despite Mbappe saying that he wants to stay at PSG until next season, that this isn't over. But there's also a wariness from Real Madrid, given everything that they've been through when it comes to this player over the last couple of years.
And then on top of all of that, Alex, we were talking to Frank Leboeuf, of course, the other day about where Mbappe would play. He doesn't want to play through the middle. That's been the big talk in the past about him. What's the thoughts on that in Madrid?
Well, he would be playing here through the middle. I mean, whether he would be entirely happy about it or not, I don't know. But there's no other place that you can fit him into this Real Madrid team right now. Why? Because in his preferred position on the left-hand side of the attack is Real Madrid's best player and the best player in La Liga right now, which is Vinicius Junior. And so where do you put Mbappe? You put him through the middle. I mean, I think a front 3 of Vinicius, Rodrigo and Mbappe is pretty mouth-watering, to be honest, how much pace in particular there is in that front 3, how much mobility and how many goals there are in that front 3 as well, because like I say, Vinicius has been outstanding. Rodrigo is getting better and better all the time. You add Mbappe to that mix and it's incredibly exciting, but you would be adding him in that centre-forward position. Now, okay, maybe there's a way you can find he starts from central positions, but the mobility that I'm talking about, he can move out wide to one side and the other. Rodrigo can come inside from the right. Vinicius likes to move inside from the left as well. But there's no doubt that, in theory at least, Mbappe would be the centre forward, because that is the one vacancy in this Real Madrid team right now. That's the next piece of the puzzle after the signing of Jude Bellingham in midfield. With Benzema going, as Jules says, that's kind of kick-started this domino effect, and there's this position at centre forward that Real Madrid need to fill. And like I say, as good a player as someone like Joselu He's scored 16 goals in La Liga last season. I can't see him being the man who starts next season as Real Madrid's first choice number 9.
So Real Madrid are playing their own strategy here by putting out this type of information.
Yeah, and I think from the perspective of Real Madrid, they're being careful about not being utilized as a negotiating tool as they were. I think that was a perception in terms of what Kylian Mbappe did last year. That, oh, it's Real Madrid, Real Madrid, Real Madrid all the time. Real Madrid thinking that this is actually going to happen. And then PSG says, no, he's been here all along and this is where he's going to be. And here's a big contract. Here are the keys to the city, to the club. Do whatever you want, Kylian. We are going to promise you the world. They didn't deliver on some of those promises. And now we find ourselves in this very same circumstance. And Real Madrid don't want to get burned again. But I tell you what's going to burn even more is to have a front three that includes Vinicius, Rodrigo, and whoever else. Whoever else is not good enough for Real Madrid. See, that's not the standard for Real Madrid. And if there is an option to go get Kylian Mbappe, I think you put aside whatever feelings you got, whatever feelings you thought you had about the player last year because he ignored you, because he turned his back on you, because you felt like he used you. I think at this point you kind of put that to the side and say, Kylian, you were ours all along. Come on down, baby. And now, when you put a front three, as Alex just mentioned, of Vinicius, Kylian Mbappe, and Rodrigo, now we're dancing.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.